Thinking about what Omar was saying, his reasons for, or his possible reasons for the coronavirus thing. He was saying that the computers weren't able to handle the numbers. He said it was reverse, small amount of numbers required to keep track of the economic system. And if you think about it, the economic system is trying to hold us as beings in some representative fashion. And you can see it starts out with trying to hold the straw man in a representative fashion, which is fair enough. It's not that difficult to, write down such and so did this at this point. Keep it in a ledger. Such and so moved this many dollars at this point. Keep everything in a ledger, right? But it kind of works at the level of straw man, but it starts breaking down when you start increasing in complexity of each individual represented by the system. It can barely handle the straw man aspect. Even if you got into quantum computing, at some point the redundancy factors would be too much for the system and it would break. So you can have systems increasing in complexity and identities going into facial recognition, going into pattern recognition of, the so-called personality. It's always the attempts to define the individual, identification, theft, problems, issues. Who am I? It's always the same shit. It's the universe trying to put some sort of order in all this nonsense. It's not even the universe, it's us. We are the universe, though. So the universe as us is trying to put order into this thing. And it's doing so via a representative system. But as we all know, representatives or go-betweens or middlemen, they are weighty. They take up room. And in the actual system, there isn't any room for anything else. Every particle is necessary and occupies how much space it occupies, and there's no room for middlemen. There actually isn't room for middlemen. Any. Zero. So while you're still using this system of past and present and future, when you're using this system, you can convince yourself into the idea that middlemen are possible or that there's room for them, but there's only room for them in time. And time is taking you out of the present, and the present is all that exists. So all this stuff of identity it's an illusion chasing after an illusion. It's literally what it is. And all of this life is the same thing. Nobody knows what it is at its core. Nobody has a fucking clue. It's you, but it's undefinable. And systems want to define things. What else do systems do besides try to define things? And defining things is, again, conceptual overlay. You're adding a conceptual overlay on top of that, which is. It's very simple. Nothing about it is complicated whatsoever. It's the attempt to do the impossible. And of course, there's not a problem with that. What else are we going to do? What else are we going to do? I don't know. You got ideas?